Now, this is the Fox 11 News at noon.
Now to the latest with Bill Cosby, a major snag in his sexual assault trial.
Right, the jurors are deadlocked. The panel told the judge that after some 30 hours of deliberations over 4 days, they are unable to reach a unanimous verdict on any of the charges. The judge sent them back to the jury room. He urged them to keep talking. Even before today's development, the situation was taking its toll. Two reporters for the Associated Press wrote that some jurors appeared angry. The judge sounded exasperated. Outside the court, attorney Gloria Allred, who represents a number of Cosby's other accusers, had this to say.
Well, I'm not frustrated at all because I know it's not over. So we'll have to wait until we see what the jury ultimately decides. I have no doubt that there will be certain members of the jury who will be frustrated. You know, my guess is that everybody on the jury, it's just a guess, would like to reach a verdict. But unless there's unanimity among the members of the jury, there will be no verdict on any counts.
Well, joining us now, celebrity attorney and legal analyst DEBRA OPRI. She's been following the case. You yourself, you're a high-profile attorney. You represented James Brown in his sexual assault case. He was found not guilty. What's going on in that room right now? You say it comes down to two things.
Credibility, consistencies, consent.
In terms of, okay, so what's the prosecution up against?
The prosecution, basically, in my opinion, they didn't come through. They didn't do their job. When you have that many inconsistencies, all the telephone calls, can I have show tickets after the fact? Those 3 blue pills, when you say, look, I got my friends with me, and you say, yes, I'll take them, is that consent? Was it knowing? At her age, what was she, 31 years old?
About
she wasn't
that, yes.
21 years old. We had this conversation before we went on air. What is the difference in your smarts between the age of in your 20s and 30s? It's consent and it's credibility. I would be attacking credibility, and they really did with her.
At the end of the day, it's a he said, she said.
Always.
There's no forensic evidence here.
Always.
What's key to this case, or could have been key to the case, is really the accusations not just from her, but the past other accusers. So having covered this case for people who haven't seen this, been following this case day to day, how much of all of that other stuff was admitted in this case?
0.
Well, that's a big deal.
They had one person testifying of all those other people. But when you get into this limited, boxed up world of a jury room where you deliberate, you're deliberating on the evidence. Do you notice those 6 questions that were asked by the jury? What were the questions? Everything having to do with the degree of the knowledge, the consent. Can you read us more of the transcript, more of the evidence?
Right.
If it wasn't put into the record, it's not in the record. But I understand they were able to read some additional things. In the end, the police report, the inconsistencies, telephone calls, and Bill Cosby, he didn't testify. He's basically running on his legacy. So the other cases haven't gone to the public now. They're only allegations. And she's only an alleged victim.
And for clarification for people who haven't really been following this, she did contact Cosby multiple times.
72, I think.
After, via phone and in person, after she says that she was sexually assaulted. So then that tears away at her credibility.
I'm going to be one of the few people who would say this. I'd love to represent Bill Cosby because he has such a legacy to help out. You know, James,
he has another legacy, though, Deborah.
No. James Brown had really a problem with his reputation with the women, with all the news reports and the cases before him. And he got off because when those people went into that jury room, it was just the facts. With Bill Cosby, it would be very interesting. And that deposition he gave years prior that was unsealed, that deposition was very telling. He came across as a guy who enjoyed another life outside of his family life.
Enjoyed another life?
No, was it sick or was it a partier who went to the Playboy Mansion who had the women? But I do not condone.
Pills?
I do not condone the practice. I don't do it. But when you're 31 and somebody hands you pills, are you going to say, "Sure, I'll calm down"?
Well, it's not just Andrea Constant. We're talking about 60 women who have come forward with stories. I understand that you're saying that this is just the one case that we're trying now.
Be taken one at a time. I do not condone behavior like that. But you are innocent until you're proven guilty, and I am a lawyer.
But people out there would say you're just blaming the victim because the victim.
Not at all.
Because you're saying you don't take the pills and they took the pills.
You know what I'm blaming? You know what I'm blaming? Beyond a reasonable doubt, It's built into our Constitution. It's the accused right. And I'm blaming a woman who at 31, yes, she went to a hotel room. Yes, she said yes to the pills. Then she made the phone calls. Then she asked for tickets for the family.
Let's just say that it is a hung jury. They're deadlocked.
Inconsistencies.
What are the chances they're going to retry the case? If it's
0.
There are some civil cases out there, too.
Yeah, and I'd love to represent him in a few of them. I really would.
Okay. You're here.
That's why you do what you do. Yes.
That's what I do for a living.
Yes. Yeah, all right.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for your time and insight.